Name's Roger Boaty. Mr. George Roger Boaty.
Good evening, darlings, and as always on a Monday, it seems like forever since I saw you, so this is absolutely lovely. I hope you're all okay with the slightly earlier start, 10 p.m. It suits me, to be honest, because, oh gosh, these days I'm so tired at the end of a Monday night, and it's, you know, if we finish at like 1 o'clock or something, I have to rush about to get a bit of supper. And, well, last Monday, because I started on the wine at 10 o'clock, I mean, I was 3/4 pissed, wasn't I? So that's no good for anybody. So 10 o'clock is going to be the new start for Mondays. And then back to 11 o'clock as we go on through the week, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, because work. So how was your weekend? How was your weekend? What have you been up to? Do let me and everybody else in the community know. I'm agog. Didn't know that, did you? I am agog. And I can't wait to find out what you've been up to, how you spent your time, how the weather's been, what have you been eating, of course. I'll tell you all about my lunch, and the first thing that I see that jumps out at me is that the lovely Mickey Jeffries has renewed his channel membership. So that's brilliant. Thank you very much, Mickey. Really appreciate the support, mate, as I do with you all. And on tomorrow's video, there will be a new outro, and all of the new channel members will get their 1 minute and 38 seconds of, I was going to say relative fame, but yeah, you know, possibly up to 11 people could hear your name being read out on YouTube, and they may or may not recognize your name because Inez's accent is a bit thick. I'm trying to train her to speak English more clearly, but it's not that easy. Anyway, let's crack on, shall we? I've had a brilliant day today. I hope your Mondays have all been reasonable. I know Mondays are kind of not the best day for a lot of you, back to work, back to the grindstone. For me, they are fabulous, and today has just been great. Only one slight downside, and it is a very, very slight downside. I'll come on to all of that. I had a lot of jobs to do today. Well, specifically, I had a lot of jobs to delegate to Mustard today. One of them was putting Brian Johnston in for his MOT, and He failed, ladies and gentlemen. Brian Johnston failed his MOT. And I didn't come home in Brian Johnston. Brian Johnston is still in the yard of dreams. And he's going to need a little fettling and furdling in order for him to be fitted with a nice, shiny, new MOT. But we'll come on to all of that. Let's say hello. Let's see who's here. Quite a few of you. Lovely. Jimmy Quinn, as so often, was in first. Good evening to you, Jimmy. Hope you're very well, sir. Dave Smith, fantastic. Oh, Simone is here. Marvellous. Mr. Spotty Botty, otherwise known as Andrew, was here but has now gone back to work. So hopefully we'll catch up with him on a later Smokos. Yes, I am early for a change, Shimo. Hope you appreciate that. Not having to hang around for an extra hour until a ridiculous time. Trace is here, that's wonderful, and says, evening all, early one again. He promises he'll be done for 12 again. I will. The mistake I made last Monday, I started on the wine at 10 o'clock, didn't I? So I got all pissed and my mouth was running away with me. So look, I'm being a good boy. That's a bit of product placement, isn't it? Well, it's about time, bloody. Who makes Vimto? Well, it's about time whoever made it sent me a bottle. I shall send them a strongly worded email or something. I'll open the wine at 11 o'clock. So I promise it won't be a late one tonight. I am knackered. Oh, bugger off, Spotty Botty. Load up with the comments and questions. Let's see if we can get another marathon 3-hour plus wine stream. I'm not up for it. I can't take that. It's been a busy old day and a busy old weekend and I'm knackered. And I've been getting up early. I went to the car show yesterday. That was up early. I got up early again today because I had a lot to do. I wanted to make sure that I was there on time and, you know, reasonably compos mentis, not all fugged up. So I'm knackered. I am knackered. Right, Spotty Buddy's back to work. Steve Colg is with us. The lovely Joe Cox is with us and says, good evening all. Hope you're all well and happy. Chas Brown is here and says, hi Boaty, early time of 10 seems better. I agree. What? That guy from SETI Alpha 5. I like that. Apparently Boaty's ship hasn't come in yet. Yeah, I didn't get started on time because the pressy button wasn't working on my elderly iPhone 6. It started playing up a little bit. I think it's getting to that sort of state of elderly decrepitude where it just kind of gets fundamentally fed up of being a phone and just wants to be put into a home for the uselessly old and bewildered. And I hope that's not the case because it's the only decent phone I've got for filming something like this on a silent background. The others are much newer, of course. Not new, but certainly newer than an iPhone 6. But they've got that iPhone microphone problem where if there isn't any background noise, they add some. From what I can work out, we've talked about this before, they've got a thing that is supposed to suppress background noise. But if there isn't any background noise, the thing creates its own, which seems absolutely balmy. At some point, when funds allow, I'm going to have to bite the bullet and buy a decent microphone, aren't I? I mean, I bought this one ages ago, didn't I? Where's it gone? Oh, there you are. Oh, it's at the other end of the thing. So I've got this one, and this is like an eBay £10 special, and it kind of works, but unless you've got it exactly right, it just sounds absolutely crap. And other YouTubers don't sound as crap as that, and they've obviously got better microphones. I was having a look at Simon's microphone, and that looked quite nice, and that's not stupidly expensive. So I'm going to have to do that. I am going to have to. And speaking of, Simon is here. Simon, of course, being Project MGTF, one of our community channels, along with many others, including Everything Cars, who also says hello, everyone. Trisha Alderman is in our midst. That's fantastic. Simone says, yesterday, oh, this is nice. Yesterday, I drove from Plymouth, which, for those who don't know, is in the northwest of Scotland, to Gaydon for the Allegro 50th anniversary, and then drove home. That's a hell of a lot of driving there. I take it you were in the 75, Simone. Simon says, I just had an epiphany whilst I was having a pee-pee. Well, these things happen, mate. It's nothing to be ashamed of. Just slam it in the bathroom door, then it'll soon go down. Oh, an epiphany, if you will. I rather like that. Yeah, I will. I think that's very good. Oh, right. I thought I didn't like madness, but it's actually just Suggs I hate. God, well, who can remember any of the other of the Magnificent Seven? I can't remember a single other band members. Simon probably knows all of them. He must be ill. No wine, says Jimmy Quinn. It's too early, mate. The problem is, if I start the wine now and drink at my normal rate, by midnight I'll be absolutely arseholed, end up broadcasting absolute crap until 1 a.m. and end up struggling up the stairs to bed absolutely slaughtered. So that's no good. The wine comes out at 11 and not a moment before. And I'm unanimous in that. I'll finish off this cheeky Vimto. Boaty's having a car key party, says Cheeseburger. Right, there is a new car in the equation, hence the keys. And I want to talk to you about the keys as well, for one specific reason. Don't put wine in your Vimto, says Cheeseburger. I will try not to. That guy from SETI Alpha 5 worked on his 77 Trans Am. That sounds awfully cool, doesn't it? I had a sausage butty, says Simon. It was a delight. Well, what a joy. It's a joy when anything is a delight, let alone a sausage butty. Teaser alert. Good evening, all, says Bad Books. Oh, a message health review. Oh, right, that's, yeah, oh, right, okie dokie. Stephen S. Paul is with us. Evening, Boatman and Company. Joe Cox says, Vimto is an elite drink stroke juice. Well, technically, I think it's a cordial, isn't it? Or a squash, if you prefer. But I agree, it's definitely elite. Bloody expensive enough. I mean, obviously I shop at Sainsbury's. Wouldn't be my first choice, but that would be Waitrose, but there isn't one. So Sainsbob's. And they've got this Nectar thing. So if you sign up for the Nectar app, then every week they give you 10 special prices on things that you regularly buy or have bought. And this is £2 a bottle now. I can't afford that. But when they give it to me on offer, it's £1.40. So I try and stock up then. I think I'm down to my last, I think I've got about half a bottle in stock. Oh, right, jolly good. I spent all day today, say Simone, playing Mass Effect on Xbox 360. Oh, right. Cheeseburger says, my lunch at the Queen's in Stoke Pound was cancelled today. I know Stoke Pound. I like hearing these names from the past. Brian, you slag, says Simon. It wasn't his fault he failed his MOT. And oh no, Captain Mustard needs to fix him. I agree. Captain Mustard does need to fix him. and he's promised to make a start tomorrow, bless his heart. Where would I be without my hairy Paddington? Up Shit Creek, that's where I would be. He's been wonderful today. We've had a great day. I really enjoyed his company, and we've got things done. Things have happened. Cheeseburger says, did you come home on Mustard's bike? No, I didn't. I came home in new car. And then he says, the picture's not very clear, and I agree with him. It isn't. Trace says, picture almost okay here. Some light pixeling at the edges, possibly the connection. I'm going to give you a wipe because you've been in my bag and you've been rubbing up against things and, oh, okay, I will do exactly that. Thank you. I'm going to give you a wipe because you've been... Oh, hold on. Excuse me. Pardon me. I'll be gentle. Any better? Oh, that might be a bit better. One more for luck. Licking a spit. Did anybody else's mother used to do this? When you had some dirt on your face and she'd spit on a hanky and rub your face all over with it. You'd probably get arrested if you did that now. Child cruelty or something of that nature. Let's have a look at you. No, right, yeah, you are a bit hazy, aren't you? Yeah, that might be a connection thing. I might be running low on interwebs. Or it could just be that this phone is on its last legs. Well, you get the general idea. You know what I look like, for God's sake. I would have thought me being hazy would be an improvement, given that my looks are a long lost memory. Oh, that was a bit camp, wasn't it? Oh, I'll get in trouble again. I'll get in trouble again. Right. Oh, not again. A bit last minute on the time change. God almighty, he's had a week's notice. That's Underscore, who you may have noticed is not here. Now, you saw, those of you in the Facebook group, I tagged him in the bloody post so he didn't have an excuse. And now he's complaining on the Facebook group, and any minute now, he'll be on here complaining. He probably has already, I just haven't got to the message. A bit fuzzy on my TV, says Cheeseburger. Yeah, we're just going to have to cope with a bit of fuzziness, I think. I've wiped you. I don't know what else I can do. Oh, I was right. And Underscore says, oh, I'm late. I didn't know there was a time change. There wasn't a time change. It was 10 o'clock last week. It's 10 o'clock this week. And it'll be 10 o'clock next week. But I take your point. Right. Fucking hell. Cheeseburger, I'm going to track you down and sit on your head. Other YouTubers don't sound as crap because they have better material. You arsehole, Cheeseburger. I hate it when people insult me and it's funny and it makes me laugh. I don't want to laugh at you insulting me. I want to be offended by it and take umbrage. And I can't because that was funny. If you're going to insult me, just be horrible. Don't be funny with it. But it's actually a fair point. That is probably the major reason why other YouTubers don't sound as crap. But I still think a Michael phone might be a wise investment, because if this phone is dying and it's showing signs that it might be, I'm going to have to use one of the newer ones. We tried that on a live stream, didn't we? And the background noise was awful. So I'm going to have to start miking up. And if I have to do it with that cheap eBay thing, that might not go well. I mean, we could try it. We might have to try it. There might be no alternative. Joe says Plymouth is in Devon. No, it's in northwest Scotland. It's in between... Let me get my geography exactly right. It's in between Glasgow and Exeter, just off the M4. That's right. Black Lions is with us and says hello, everyone. Matt says, well, I'm definitely on the naughty step. An earlier start time and not even a cheerio when Boaty and Simon left the show yesterday. Yeah, well, we couldn't find you. And I had to go urgently because I suddenly needed a poo. It came upon me all of a sudden. And I didn't fancy using their facilities. Are you on the wonk as well as being hazy? You are. You're definitely on the wonk. Oh, God, it's hard work tonight, isn't it? So apologies for that, Matt. I did think that it was potentially a bit rude, but you kind of weren't there. And I did hang about for ages, and I didn't want to go back into the museum, and I really did need a poo. And I didn't want to foul myself having cleaned Shison. Oh, what's going on there? Oh, there we are. Pissed and talking crap, asked Mickey Jeffries. Situation normal then. Yeah, pretty much. I saw a picture of the car, says Jimmy Quinn. Yes, there is a picture of new car on the Facebook group. I just finished my orange dinner, says Simone. Fish fingers, baked beans and potato waffles. Need to go shopping tomorrow. Right. I seem to have already missed quite a bit. I'll have to watch later. Toodles all. Oh, you didn't miss much, Matt. Just saying hello to a couple of people is all. We get rocks juice, says Black Lion. It's far too expensive, but the wife likes it, so I'm not allowed an opinion. All I drink is water. Oh dear. Morrison, says Joe, is normally £2.50 for the big bottles of Vimto. Think it's 3 litres. I don't like the aesthetics of the big bottle. How ridiculous is that? Exactly, Trace, exactly. That's all he missed. Oh, that's a bit better, apparently, having wiped. Oh, you're still all on the wonk and weird. Did I wonk you the wrong way? Do you need to be that way? Not quite, not quite. And you, oh, I think you need to get down a bit, don't you? More like that. How's that? Is that more like the normal view? Let's have a look at you. Right, that's going to have to do, I think. We'll make do with that, because there are other things I want to talk about, other than your wonkiness. And I was going to do some live stuff. Well, it's all live stuff, isn't it? This is a live stream. It might become less hazy at 11 p.m, aka wine o'clock. Right. God, is this true? Is that true, Cheeseburger? I did get arrested for wiping a child's face with a rag a few years ago. Oh, not a nice experience. True story. They wanted to give me a caution. I don't like the police. Bloody hell. He's up and down like a bride's nightie, says Bad Books. Mark on Motoring is amongst us and says, good evening, a community channel, of course. You're still on the wonk. Oh. Why can't I just leave it alone? Why can't you just leave it alone, boy? It'll fall off. How's that? Yes, I'm happy with that. I'm happy with that. Look, in future, I won't unwonk that. I'll just unwonk myself. Oh! Simon says, we need to get walkie-talkies to communicate with Matt when he's not in line of sight. Mustard and I have been speaking about walkie-talkies from the off. It's on our wish list. Yeah, we thought that whenever any of us are all out and about, we should all be walkie-talkied up. How cool would that be? And we saw them, didn't we, on some form of radio walkie-talkies. 3 cars at the car show on Sunday at the Great British Car Journey. 3 cars roared in, did a circuit of the car park, and they were it was a Lamborghini Aventador, an Aston Martin, I think it was a DB11, and a Porsche of some nature. It looked like a Top Gear road trip, but it wasn't Top Gear. Well, it wasn't. It wasn't the Grand Tour anyway. Could have been Top Gear, I suppose. And they were all radioed up, and they came in, did a circuit at the car park, and fucked off. And Mr. Underscore shouted at them that they didn't need to spend £160,000 to enlarge their penis. They could have had plastic surgery for just 10 grand. Mum, you're on a warning. Wonktacular, says Stephen S. Paul. Dear. It's only wonky when you play with the camera. And Joe says, the camera's fine for me, not fuzzy. Bloody hell, Cheeseburger, that's ridiculous. Locked up in Kidderminster police station, fingerprints, DNA, interviewed under caution. That's no fun, being interviewed under caution. I can speak from personal experience on that one, which is probably a story I've already told you. Well, more than once, actually. Well, it's happened more than once, and I've probably told you about it more than once. Right then, what have I got to tell you? When did I speak to you last? Thursday night, wasn't it? Well, Friday and Saturday were just pretty much normal. Arsing about, going to work, that sort of thing. Sunday, I went to Rover Day at the Great British Car Journey and met up with the lovely Simon and Matt Underscore, of course. What's the book pack on the table? Well, this is some of the stuff for the new car. I've not had a chance to look at it yet because I've been rushing about. So I thought I might do it live. Have a look what's there. I genuinely haven't got a clue. I need to get some other stuff out of the card as well. There's some more paperwork in there. But it's actually, as book packs go, look, it's a proper one. MG Rover. Rover approved, 12 months warranty and all of that. So we'll have a look through that, see what's there. And I've got some keys to show you, only because of these posh things here. And I want to see if any of you have got any of those. And you can help me out with something. Top Gear aren't filming, says Cheeseburger. I saw Hammond, Clarkson and May on the A14 once, filming in classic cars. Oh, being filled out of the open tailgate of a Range Rover. Yeah, that's how they do it, isn't it? We met a lovely chap called Alex at the show, and Adam, who owns a very nicely altered Mark 125. Oh, that was the one with the BRM interior, wasn't it? Oh, Sarah Parsons is here. How lovely. Hi, Sarah. Thanks for joining us. Yeah, and Alex is the chap with, I think, I'm terrible with names. I'm so awful with names. Alex, that's the chap with the fabulous early 75 V6 Cowley car with every option that you can imagine on there. The beautiful duotone green leather with all of the green mats, the embossed headrest. Apparently it's quite a famous car, quite a well-known car. Electric blind, cruise control, wooden steering wheel. Look, you name it, that car has got it. Nice low mileage, and he's also got a Rover Sterling. And he lives not a million miles from me, actually. And he did appear unknowingly on one of my earlier videos, maybe about 9-10 months ago, in the Rover 600 that he owned at the time, and which he subsequently, I think, sold to a chum. Long time no see indeed, Sarah, and it's lovely to have you here. How are you? I'm terribly well, thank you. Yeah, really well, really well. It's all good in the hood. It's spring. It's lovely. I can't complain in the least. How are you, my lovely? How's things with you? Tell me all about what's going on for you. Oh, Richard Mann is with us. Evening, Jason. Hope you're well. I'm great, thank you, mate, and hope you are too. Nice to see you here. So yeah, car show Sunday. It was nice to meet up with the chaps, and it wasn't a bad turnout. I thought it was a shame. Well, I think we all thought it was a shame that they didn't organise a set-apart place for the Rovers that pre-booked and turned up. So the car park was a mishmash of some beautiful Rovers, but just parked up willy-nilly with modern stuff and all sorts of stuff kind of in between, which was kind of a shame, kind of lessened the visual appeal or the visitor appeal, I guess. Now they did put a separate part for the Rover, whichever club it was that turned up officially, the Rover 200 and 400 club, I think it was. And they had a side bit, but there weren't all that many cars. There were only about 5 or 6 cars there, I think. Whereas there must have been about, how many, Simon? 30 odd Rovers turned up over the space of the... So that was a bit of a shame, but hey ho. It was nice to actually go there and see what it was all about. It is very local to me. I'd never been before. And I did have a wonder about the museum. Now, I must admit that I didn't, because I wanted to film a little bit for the live, and because I just wanted to whiz around, because, this sounds awful. Some of the stuff might not have been as interesting to me as it might be to others. Some of the relatively mundane stuff. So, for example, there was a really nice Shadow 2 there, and I'm sure a lot of people loved having a look around the Shadow 2, and you got headphones and a recorded commentary thing that everybody said, well, everybody I asked or who told me said was actually really good. And there were QR codes on exhibits that you could scan and get extra info. And I didn't do any of that. So I'm probably judging it unfairly because I didn't get the full experience. But a lot of the stuff, like, a Shadow 2, fabulous thing, and it was a really nice example. But I've had hundreds of the bloody things. So I don't, and I kind of know all about them. So I didn't particularly want to listen to a commentary telling me stuff I probably already knew. So I think that as a museum and as an experience, I probably didn't get the best from it, and I'm probably not the target audience. But it wasn't without interest, not by any manner or means. There were some cars there that I really, really enjoyed seeing. A lot of little jerks back down memory lane. A lot of stuff that I used to deal with regularly when I had the dealership, and but I do have to say, in all honesty, that I think their price point is a bit out there. I don't know. Is that fair to say? It's just a personal opinion. Now, if you turned up in a Rover and pre-booked, you got in at a discounted rate. The full rate is like £16.50. And to be honest, for what it was, I thought that was a bit hefty. They weren't doing the drive your dad's car thing, but I understand that is quite pricey as well. So, if you were going as a family or even as a couple, that's going to get quite pricey, isn't it? At £16.50 a head. There are concessions available for, the elderly or the youngery or the, possibly the disabled or the terminally bewildered. But I just thought it was a bit... I thought it was a bit pricey, but I wouldn't want to put anybody off going, and I'm sure you'd find much there to to enjoy. Now, what was a disappointment were my sandwiches. I deployed a new picnic hamper, which is a story in itself. I'll show you that later on. Thanks to a chance connection with a rather lovely chap who may well be watching this. And if you are, hello. Yeah, but the sandwiches, disappointment. My own fault. I forgot to bring the salad from work. So they weren't the sandwich I intended, and they suffered as a result. But, you know, hey-ho, these things happen. Simon says, yeah, they could have just asked Rovers to park on the right and others on the left. Yeah, that would have been so easy, wouldn't it? Would have been easy. Was a good turnout. Apparently more turned up after we left. Oh, and Simon goes on to say, 17 quid is too much for what's there. A tenner felt about right. Not sure where they let you drive the classics though. It's not got any land around it. Have you not seen Joseph's video, Simon? You drive it around the car park. Literally, you drive it around the car park. That's it. That is the driving your dad's car experience. I watched Joseph Lloyd shuffling a TR7 around there. But hey ho, yeah, mate. Stigbürt says, you should have said you're Jeremy Clarkson's brother. You might have got in free. Well, many a true word spoken in jest, or not a true word as it happens. I'd already tried that. I fancied visiting it, and I didn't say I was Jeremy Clarkson's brother. I said I was a very, I said I was a well-known motoring journalist doing research for a blah blah blah, and I asked for a press pass to come along and look, and they said they didn't issue press passes to anybody under any circumstances or even circumstances. So I did kind of try that. I did try a blag previously and got absolutely nowhere. So there you go. So you may have seen Hubnut there, you may have seen Joseph Lloyd there. Take it from me, they paid full price. And I hope they got good footage out of it and got good ad revenue from the videos. That's a bit steep. Donington Museum was £7. That's my point. I think is it run by the guy who bust auto windscreens? Asked Cheeseburger. I'm not going there. I'm not saying anything. There's a bit of history to that place. Pure Evil says the £10 felt a bit much just for entry to the car park, truth be told. And then I was sent down to the far end away from all the other Rovers. I've worked out who you are, Pure Evil. Now, Simon said your name, and I've forgotten what it was. You're the chap with the 25 with the BRM interior, yeah? I didn't really speak to you, did I? But I did have a look at your car. Have you any plans, asks Richard Mann, to be back up at the Motorist in Leeds in the coming months? I was looking forward to meeting you in person, but I was bloody ill that day. No plans as yet, Richard, but it would be a good thing to do, I think. I enjoyed the day at the Motorist. It's not too far away from me. It is doable. It's a good place to meet up. It's incredibly well attended. You don't have to pay to get in there. By all accounts, the cafe is very good, although there's a bit of a wait. So I'd be happy to organise something up there. I don't know if anybody else has organised anything that we could piggyback off, but, you know, why not organise something ourselves? Why not? It's obviously doable. Other people do it, so why can't we? I did wonder why you were parked right down the end there, says Simon to Pure Evil. Seems a lack of a bit of organisation. I'm not tight, says Jimmy Quinn, but I wouldn't have paid over a tenner to go in that museum. Yeah, the price point was just wrong, in my opinion. Richard Mann says, Mustard was meant to review my T-Reg, gosh, that's an early one, Old English White Rover 75 that day. It's a London Bridge launch car. Wow. He did review my new Seat Leon Hybrid a few weeks ago. Oh, that was yours, was it? And Pure Evil says, I just assumed that I'd somehow managed to offend everyone within seconds of arriving. Is the cost to drive the cars bumped up by the cost of car insurance, asked Cheeseburger. I've got absolutely no idea. To be honest, I would guess that as it's on private land on a private car park, I'm not sure how much insurance they would have in place. I suppose they must have public liability insurance, mustn't they? Honestly don't know. I honestly don't know. I mean, how expensive can it be? I mean, obviously, when I had the showrooms, then we had all singing, all dancing insurance, fully insured for test drive purposes. And, you know, that wasn't stupidly, amazingly expensive. So, don't know. The freaking car park, shrieked Simon. How is that an experience? Here's a Lambo, you're allowed to drive it around Tesco's for 10 minutes. Well, yeah, and trust me, you're not going to be driving a Lamborghini. More likely a TR7 or a Mollis Marina or something like that. It ain't going to be no Lamborghini. Well, it's going to be British for a start, isn't it? Or it's supposed to be. Now we have some insight from Mark on Motoring. I filmed reviews of 3 of the cars at Great British Car Journey, TR7, MGB and Mini Cooper Sport. And the route was around the full site. Sometimes it's only up to the roundabout. And yes, I did have to pay. Sarah asks, how come you never see any smoke wafting about when you're smoking? I'm not smoking, Sarah. I'm not smoking. I wouldn't do that. Doors open. Prices are silly nowadays, says Bad Books. Sandringham pageant of motoring last year. 80 car clubs attended, £10 per car to exhibit, and £20 each for the public to visit, and was packed out. Bloody hell. Pure Evil, what is your name, sir? Please allow me to address you by name. I'm lousy with names, and I'm lousy at mashing up. I know cars, and I know eBay names, and sometimes I know real names, and it's nice to try and get them all together. Oh, right. Ross is here and says, I'm off to work, but I'll listen in. Right. Insurance, says Cheeseburger. Public liability and test drive insurance on classics. Yeah, I would imagine that would be it. Good God, I've caught up the comments. That's good. So that was Sunday. Yeah, it was okay. It was okay. If I'm absolutely honest, given the costs involved, I think that if we'd have rocked up to Ignition Cars and Coffee at 11 o'clock, had a coffee, had a mingle in the car park of the pub next door, had a look around Ignition, had a chat, had a play around with our own cars, and then went for a nice pub lunch, I actually think that would have been money better spent. But that is just my personal opinion and may have no validity whatsoever. So that's Sunday dealt with. Now on to today. What were my jobs to do today? How successful? Oh, no. That's not Sunday finished with, is it? Sunday was a disappointment because I thought that I'd bought a car. as you will soon find out, I've got a new old thing going on. And when I say I mean we. Back to the idea of, call it what you like. Oh, hang on, some more comments that I missed. Diddly-doo. Simone says, Six and Backy must be super expensive now. Yes, they are. How do people afford it? Well, I don't know. They either earn a lot of money, which I don't, or they buy smuggled ones from smugglers, which I do. But I won't admit to that. All I'll say is, you don't get those in the UK. A third of the price, ladies and gentlemen. A third of the price. Oh, it's Adam. But either Evil, Pure, or even that guy with the BRM seats is fine. Adam, nice to meet you, Adam. Nice to have sort of met you. And nice to sort of meet you again now. Adam, BRM seats, Pure Evil. I'm getting that in the old brain. Richard Mann says, have you bought another Rover 200/25 today? Yes, I have, Richard Mann. Yes, I have. And I will talk about it. Cheeseburger says, did anyone go to the Allegro informal meet at Longbridge on Saturday? By the time I found out it had happened, and yeah, Simone says she did, as she told us. She drove from her home in the northeastern tip of Northern Ireland all the way to Longbridge, which, as I think most of you know, is in Manchester, and back again in the same day. So that was a long old day in the saddle for Simone, wasn't it? What was I talking about? Oh, cars, right, yeah. So, yeah, got this thing going back on, you know. The idea that we had before that didn't work out last year for various reasons. You could call it flipping, you could call it, you know, finding unloved or neglected cars and rehoming them, or call it anything you want. But yeah, the idea is that we start doing a little bit of that again. And it has restarted due to a chum becoming involved who, because I don't know whether he wishes to be in any way formally identified with me and Mustard, I should refer to, and have referred to thus far, simply as the banker. I may have made a mistake a couple of times when calling him or her, could be her, we don't know, the banker, but there we are. So, on Sunday or on Saturday night, I thought I had very bravely bought a car sight unseen from Great Yarmouth, and it was supposed to be being delivered on Sunday, and it wasn't. And it was going to be delivered by a company. The deal had been agreed, diddly-do, everything sorted, and then I get a message from the seller on Saturday night saying, actually, I'll bring it over myself on Sunday, get a lift back. I said, fine, asked him about the times, and he just went quiet. And he never replied to any more messages. The car disappeared from the sales venue, and I've got no idea what happened. So I assume that either he got a better deal or the car broke. But either way, it didn't arrive, and it was supposed to. So yeah, so that was on Sunday, and that didn't happen. Now, moving on to today, Monday. What happened today? What time is it? Oh, 10 to 11, we're not doing it. Oh, it's almost wine time. Oh, happy days. And I've caught up with the comments, so I can chill out a bit. I can slow down. I can scratch my bum. I'm not scratching my bum. My hands are above the table. But I can do this. So what happened today? Had some jobs to do today. Obviously it's Monday, so I'm off to the Yard of Dreams, aren't I, with the Hairy Paddington. I went in Brian Johnston, and Brian Johnston had an MOT test booked in the early afternoon. Now, I was a bit iffy. Brian Johnston has got a bit of a blowy bottom, and I wasn't sure whether that was going to be an advisory or a fail. I hoped that he would get by on an advisory you know, I could then get him sorted rather than a fail, which obviously would be a fail and need immediate attention. The other jobs were to, what were the other jobs? Oh, right, yeah. To collect some wheels, very kindly lent to me by the lovely Liz, which are on loan to help get Stigbürt back on the, oh, and Liz is going to be catching up tomorrow and says enjoy. So, yeah, set of wheels on loan from the lovely Liz to help get Stigbürt up and running as cost effectively. God, I've gone really hazy. Oh, must be a dodgy internet connection. I don't know. The sound's all right, and it doesn't seem to be slowing down. Or is it just my eyesight? Let's have a look. No, this looks fine. You don't. Sorry about that, folks. Yeah, so I needed to pick up a couple of wheels, and that meant a bit of jigging about putting other wheels on Liz's car to keep it off the ground and keep it mobile. Oh, the pick is fine, says Chaz Brown. Good stuff. Must be just my knackered old iPhone 6 then. So that was another job. Another job was to have lunch. Always a very important job on a Monday. And finally, to go and look at a car, a Rover 25 diesel. So those were the jobs. And how did it go? Well, the morning started well. I was up nice and early. I wasn't, yeah, it could be cheeseburger. I wasn't hungover, got up nice and early, had my normal breakfast, one slice of lavishly buttered toast, a little bit of apple juice, 2 cups of strong black coffee, and a cigarette or two. And so that was all good. And then I had a lovely journey in the sunshine to the Yard of Dreams in Brian Johnston, which you'll be relieved to know I didn't film, because I'm fully aware that I've filmed that journey far too many times and you must all be sick of it. So I didn't film it at all, but it was a really nice journey, actually. I got there exactly on time, which is really unusual. No problems with Brian. And so the first job we did was join the diesel side. So the first job we did was we took Brian in for MOT. And as I've told you, he failed, my loves. He failed. He failed on his blowy bottom, but annoyingly, he failed at both ends. He failed on at the back of the exhaust and at the front of the exhaust. So, oh, that's annoying and potentially costly, but hopefully it will be patchable and bodgeable, because it didn't sound that bad and it doesn't look that bad. So, maybe Mustard can use his newfound welding skills to sort that out. But he also failed on a ball joint, near side front ball joint, which you would think I would have heard knocking, but I didn't, or I don't think I did, or I missed it, or the music was too loud. But anyway, point is, he failed. Now, I took him in, what date are we on? 15th. I took him in just under a week early. He's MOT'd until the 21st. So I could have come home in him, but that wouldn't get him sorted, would it? He needs to be at the yard to sort it. So we then went on to job number 2, which was to go and look at the 25. And spoiler alert, it's out there. And we're going to have a look at the paperwork. So there you are. So given that Brian failed its MOT, I wasn't planning to come home in the new one. It was going to stay at the yard for Mustard to do his normal thing, you know, make a video about it, make a fortune off the video. Everybody tell him how clever he is. He would do a wonderful clean-up job and everybody would say, gosh, wow, that's amazing. But no, that is not going to happen. I have come home in it. It is quite possibly the dirtiest car you've ever seen in your life. And I don't mean dirty as in, you know, the smutty kind. It's just, I mean, I don't know when it was last washed. It's been sitting a while unused, and it looks like it's been sitting a while unused. It has also been used for target practice by every large bird within a 50-mile radius by the look of it. It is absolutely, you're seeing the video, one side of it is almost completely white thanks to avian droppage. And it, you know, it's covered in all sorts of things, really. And in a first, it's going to be me doing the cleanup job on it, or at least doing a bit of a cleanup job on it. Whether it will end up being further improved by Mustard, we shall see. But I'm rather looking forward to doing the old job on it. And the idea is that I will use it as my daily, so I can properly assess it and sort out maybe some little bits and pieces until ideally next Monday, when hopefully Brian will all be sorted and I can get Brian back. What do you mean, poor Deric? I can clean a car. You all said Shison was looking lovely on Sunday. Don't be mean, you horrible lot. I can do it. If Mustard can do it, I can do it. I've got a sponge. I've got a hose pipe. What more do you need? Yes, Boaty will be detailing the new Rover diesel. Rover paint and bird crap. What could possibly go wrong? So yeah. So I came home in that, and I tell you what, what a bloody fabulous car to drive. I had the best drive home, absolutely brilliant for a number of reasons. Well, I'll carry on about the day, and then I'll talk about the car. Oh, I see, Joe. Oh, right, okay, yeah. Deric, where does that name? Where does that come from? Right. Okay. The car already had a name, so I've not named him. And the car was named Deric, partly as a tribute to Mustard's Eric, and partly because it looked like Deric. but it's been spelled Deric as a tribute to Eric. So if any of you like the look of Eric, then you'd be getting Eric plus plus a D thrown in for nothing. No, there won't be a machine polish because I haven't got a machine. I've got an arm. So it'll be an arm polish. Well, I mean, let's get it clean to start with. I mean, that, you know, that's going to be something to do, isn't it? So to finish off today, we took Deric back to the yard. Then we went out and got lunch, and it was my turn to pay. So it was my choice, and I chose to go to the International Chippy, and Mustard had kebab. We had a portion of chips to share, and I had a beef and onion pie and some curry sauce, and I really enjoyed it. International Chippy are the best chips in the world. Mustard, it was a really late lunch. It was gone 4 o'clock, believe it or not. By the time we, you need a Deric is Eric badge from the early 70s, Deric and the Dominoes. Oh, right, okay. An elbow grease special. Yep, that's what it's going to be. That is what it's going to be. So we had lunch, which was fabulous. Made a lunch video, obviously. I'm not one to waste that opportunity. And then we had our usual chat time, where away from camera we make plans for the future. And we've got some very immediate plans for a new series of joint live streams at a time you might not expect. Oh, good afternoon, Admiral Floaty von Wonky View. Good afternoon to you, Pingu. Oh dear. And Matt says, well, that's an odd time to rejoin. Boaty's offering free D. Think I'll go again. Is Deric a 3 or a 5 door, says Simon. Deric is a 5 door. I'll tell you all about him in a minute. Yeah, so we had lunch. We had one of our good old in-depth chats about this, that, and the other, as we always do, without cameras turned on. And then we did a little bit of filming around Deric. So expect to see that on Mustard's channel either tonight or tomorrow. My video will be going out tomorrow. Obviously, not got a chance to do anything tonight. And then we did the wheel job on the ZT, which was a bit of a pain in the bum. Loaded the wheels into Deric, and they're still out there in the back. What do you mean? Come on, Doddy, get on with it. Bugger off. It's 3 minutes past 11. Oh, it's wine time. It's wine time, darlings. Don't tell me to get on with it. I've only been going an hour, and it's only 11 o'clock. You've got nothing to complain about, Cheeseburger. Now you're in trouble, though. The wine's coming out. That'll teach you. And then so yeah, that was that. And then I drove home, left the yard quite late, got home, shoved some stuff quickly on Facebook, finished off the outro video with the new channel members and whatnot, and then did this. And that brings us up to date, which means that I can tell you, have you ever considered a Maestro or Montego? Not recently. I've owned both in the past. And one of the cars that I very much liked at the Great British Car Journey was an MG Montego EFI. I've forgotten how much I liked those. I certainly had one as quite a long-term smoker back in the day when they were, you know, like current. I really liked it. I thought it was a really good car, and I would love one now, but they're going to be well and truly, I have no idea what to go for, but they're going to be out of my price range, aren't they? Let's face it, everything's out of my price range. And then everyone kissed and made up, which was nice. Oh, right, okay. This picture, says Simon, is so fuzzy, sometimes I could be watching Michael Barrymore and I wouldn't know. Totally not fuzzy at all for me, says Trace. I don't know what's going on with the picture, loves. Make the best of it. Right, let's talk about this car, shall we? Wine will clear all the fuzziness. Wine cures everything. So, you're very good health, darlings. Cheers, bottoms up, all that. So yeah, the new car is called Deric. It is a pre-facelift Rover 25 L Series diesel in Tahiti blue. It's got, well, what year is it exactly? It's a 52 plate. Oh, it is a turbo diesel. Why was I thinking it was naturally aspirated? Oh, well, that's a bit of the video I'll have to cut out, isn't it? And it was registered sometime. It was registered sometime. I don't know, 52, so it's going to be late 2002, isn't it? Or could it be 2003? Could be a 2003 car, couldn't it? Oh, we've got some papers here to look through anyway, so that's good. Tahiti blue, says Cheeseburger. My 97 MGF was that colour with a beige leather interior. Let me just get the rest of the stuff out of Deric. Don't think I locked him. Oh, I locked this door then. Was that because I opened the door? Did I let the internet out? Oh, but you're not hazy now. That's better, isn't it? That's a clear picture. Oh, so that's good. Anyway, look. Posh. Genuine fake leather. Genuine gold-coloured cornery bits. None of that horrible see-through plastic crappy thing. So that's good. And there's something else I want to show you. Yes, Matt, a new car. If the 25 wasn't turbo, he wouldn't be home yet. Cheeseburger, it took a while to get accustomed to the, it's such a different bloody driving style. Oh, I hope this isn't going to really start playing up. Let me turn some of the other devices off. Let me turn the internet off on them. See if that helps. Bear with. Remind me to turn them all back on. Wi-Fi off. Settings. Wi-Fi off. I haven't had to do that for a while. Let's hope that does the trick, shall we? Yeah, the driving style took some getting used to. I can see why Mustard wanted to remap Eric, but once you get the hang of it and where the revs need to be in order for you to actually progress, he goes along absolutely fine, and he's a brilliant motorway car. Right, it looks like we're going to be struggling, loves. if it gets too bad, we're just going to have to abandon this. I'm really sorry. Can't see any particular reason for it. I've turned the other devices off. My Wi-Fi is showing as, I don't know if it's this phone playing up, but I've missed a load of comments. Well, we'll struggle on, shall we? And see how bad it gets. If you disappear, nothing I can do about it. I'm sorry. Where did I get to? Shiny deep blue metallic, beautiful, says Cheeseburger. It's not shiny. It's not shiny at the moment, but it will be. It will be. Deric sounds delightful. I do like a 25 in blue. It's a good colour. Have you been buying cars without me? Asked Pingu. I feel cheated on, especially in my fleet colour, Tahiti blue. Yeah, it was, this one kind of wasn't intentional, if that makes any sense. I haven't bought a shed Cheeseburger. It's lovely. I've been offered a 75 Tourer Boaty, says Simone. 96k, CDT, 2 litre, SE Connoisseur, auto, 2.5 grand. Wish I had the money. Oh God, now Tracy's saying it's fuzzy. The internet's to fuck tonight, isn't it? He's gone again, might fix itself now, pottering, ghosts in the machine. Oh, picture is better. Did you actually buy a car that isn't silver? Asked Sven. Congratulations. Yeah, I did, but I'm not keeping it. It's for sale. Right. The turbo is, shall we say, unrefined for sure. At least if mine is anything to go by. A lot of fun if you stay north of 2.5k RPM though. Well, yeah, that's what I discovered. You've got a very narrow band, haven't you? Because you're redlining at 4.5. And if you let it drop below 2.5, you're going nowhere. But it's actually great fun. I struggled a bit at first. And you know what my journey's like once you get off the motorway? All hills and corners. I had a blast. I had the biggest smile on my face. It was really great. Completely out of focus, sadly, says Trace, and he's gone. I prefer diesel, says Cheeseburger. Wine has ruined the stream, it always does. Simon forgot to take his business cards out from under his picture's crystal clear, says Cheeseburger. A 45 would do for Matt, especially if they have a bit more legroom than the 25. Loads more legroom, Matt. Loads more. You'd be much more comfortable. Right, so. You have to plan ahead, says Cheeseburger. It aids engine braking and planning ahead. Yeah, as I think I said in the video driving home, I loved it. Put a real smile on my face because it's a car that you can't just drive mindlessly. You have to actually drive it with thought and with care to get the best from it. Well, to make progress, quite frankly. And that's incredibly rewarding. And it makes for a much more satisfying and pleasant driving experience. I loved it. I genuinely loved it. Because there's a price to pay as well. Because if you get it wrong, then you just stop. You're going nowhere. Dear. Oh, right, okay. But yeah, I think it's absolutely fabulous. I'm really quite smitten by it. It looks awful because it's filthy, but my God, does it drive well. It's low mileage for a diesel. When I was driving home, it clicked over onto 62,000 miles. So it's not a high mileage car. and it's so tight to drive. There's no sloppiness anywhere. There are no knocks, no bangs. It's just really tight. It drives like a 20,000 mile car. Never mind a 60,000 mile car. Yeah, it's an unrefined L series diesel lump. So yeah, sounds like it's going to sound, but driving absolutely brilliant. And as yet, I've not found anything mechanical to fault it on, and neither did Mustard. So in terms of spec, is the interior manky too? I wouldn't say it's manky, Pingu. It needs a clean. It needs a clean, but I wouldn't actually say it's manky. You know, it's pre-facelift. It's got the really nice dash. It's got the same gramophone that Shison has got, which is my favourite gramophone in the world, and that works. Steering wheel controls work. It's got air conditioning. Not sure if that works as yet, only because it's got the heater knob thing. Seems to be a common thing on 25s. I've got it on Shison. The flap under the bonnet, the heater control valve that variates your hot and cold air, that can get quite stiff, and the cable route, I believe, is quite tortuous. And sometimes it gets a bit stiff, and then what happens is somebody tries to force the knob, and it's only a plastic knob. And what will happen then is the knob will the plastic will just round off. So that's what's happened. So I wasn't able to test the aircon because the knob isn't rotating the thing. It's exactly the same thing I've got with Shison, and I need to get onto eBay and see if I can find a couple of heater knobs. Easy enough, you just free the control valve off, put a new knob on, job's a good one. So tomorrow, when I start the big cleanup of Deric, I'll just pop a pair of grips on, make sure he's in the cold setting, and then I'll try the aircon. The light came on. There was the click under the bonnet to indicate that the aircon was operating. Whether it's got any stuff in it, whether it needs charging or not, or whether it's working, I just don't know. But I will find out tomorrow. But it's nice that he's actually got aircon. A massive plus is that the clock works. Early car, same as Shison, the clock works. None of this later car and facelift stuff, and the clocks are always knackered. The clock works, and he's got that lovely gramophone. He's got that beautiful pre-facelift dash, which is great. All of the dash lighting works, so at night you've got that beautiful ambient orange ambience that I've got in Shison, which is so lovely. What else? Yeah, the interior needs a clean, but that's not a problem. Electric windows in the front, sports windows to the rear. What else? No sunroof. Usual. Sorry guys, I don't know why, but the internet's on one tonight. No idea why. It's a bit windy, not as windy as it often is here. It's not raining, it's not a storm, so I don't know why. The joys of rural living, eh? So really sorry, as I say, I mean, we've been going an hour and 20. If it gets too bad, then I'll just give up and we'll reconvene tomorrow. Where did I get to? Oh, and I can see that the pictures are flickering again, so you're going to go again, aren't you? All right, Simon says goodbye. Cheeseburger says the kids can't drive them, hence lack of popularity. Go everywhere in fifth and change down at the last minute. That's how they're taught. Yeah, and I had to remember how you drive an old school diesel. But once I did remember, it was the most fun ever. Honestly, brilliant fun, brilliant fun. I'm kind of in love with this little thing. And just as a driving car, probably the best car I've got at the moment. It's just so together and tight and genuinely a joy to drive. It's just cosmetically it's let down. Everybody's saying goodnight to Simon. Oh, you 3D printed a new heater knob. Oh, that's an idea. Oh, Pingu, you legend. I've got some knobs for you. Oh, Pingu, you're a superstar, sir. Obviously, you know the one. It's the hot cold knob. It's the one that always goes. I'm not sure if he's blowing on all speeds. I think he is. I think the resistor hasn't gone or has been done, because I think he's blowing on 1, 2, 3, 4, as Shison is now. I'd be really grateful for those knobs, Pingu. Bless you. Thank you, mate. So yeah, I think he's blowing on 1, 2, 3, 4, but 1 and 2 are very soft. They are on Shison. You'd almost think he wasn't fixed. You have to listen very closely. As I said this only once. But I think he's blowing on all speeds. So again, I'll check that out tomorrow. I'll go through the stereo more thoroughly, make sure all of the speakers are working. But what a joy to have. I think it's a Blaupunkt CD32 is the model. It's the same as in Shison, which means that it's that beautiful Blaupunkt that was so of its time. All of those little buttons. It's OEM original fitment of the car. When you start up, it says Rover, which is fabulous. Steering wheel controls do work, that's great. It's a cassette head unit. Remember those? Now, Shison, being an IXL, has got a 10-disc CD stack in the boot. Deric hasn't got that. He is just a cassette unit. On the way home, I had my Bluetooth FM transmitter thing on the sun visor, and that was streaming music from my phone, which is always my go-to thing now, because I like to have the original onboard gramophone in the car, and especially when it's at Blaupunkt, which is just my favourite of all time. So as far as I'm concerned, that's a massive plus. And there is a cassette in the cassette holder. You'll remember that Simon and Pingu both kindly helped me out with cassette holders for Shison to dress him properly, make him look right. And the same should be done with Deric, really. There is one in there. I didn't check to see what the cassette was. I'll check that tomorrow as well. Yeah, he's a 5-door. I'm sure the interior will clean up very well. There's no damage that I could see. Everything's there, everything's fine. Just need to clean and a polish. The seats, you know how those older seats go. The fabric isn't quite as tight as it originally was, but that's neither here nor there. Super comfortable, and yeah, the interior's all there. Parcel shelf is there. Yeah, I think he's going to be kind of nice. I'll get onto the problems. Any history on clutch, cam belt and water pump? Don't know yet, mate. We're going to have a look. Oh yeah, Boaty will change all of that. Clutch, cam belt, water pump. That'll all be changed before I get back to the yard next week. I'm not downloading porn, Cheeseburger. Pottering. It's working fine now, Boaty says Joe, but I'll be leaving at 12. Got work in the morning. I'll be leaving at 12 also. We will not be going on after 12. Mark on Motoring says good night. Right, okay. Are there any other bits you need, asked Pingu, that I could send in the same parcel? Can't think of anything that I need that's small. No, genuinely can't think of anything, mate. The aerial you know about, that went astray. Heater knobs. I can't think of anything else off the top of my head. Unless you've got, and I would pay for this, unless you've got a nice set of Rover 200 mats, either rubber or carpet. Shison hasn't got any mats. He's got some really horrid cheap aftermarket ones in, and I would love some proper mats for Shison. But otherwise, no, can't think of anything, Pingu. But thank you for asking, really kind. Was there something? What was I thinking about? No, can't think. Right, so the downsides of Deric, right, cosmetics. Now, as far as we can see, and have been told, he's fundamentally sound of body. But guess where he's gone rusty? Always the same place, isn't it? Oh, Nigel, hello, mate. Yeah, wings. Both of the wings are rusty, but some of the local kids mischievously poked through the rust on the near side wing. So the near side wing has actually got an hole in it, which is obviously a shame. Now, that could in theory be an MOT failure, not on the grounds that it's structural, because of course it isn't. But it could fall foul of the sharp edge that could damage a pedestrian type of thing. Although you could just put some gaffer tape over it and that would be absolutely fine. But, you know, obviously, ideally, he needs at least one wing, if not two. Not the end of the world. I'd rather have a rusty wing than a rusty sill. Or a rusty underfloor or a rusty subframe or something like that. Wing is nice and relatively nice and easy. Bolt on, bolt off, and new wings are available. Although I hear they're not a perfect fit, but God knows neither were the originals. So, yeah, so that kind of lets him down a bit. Difficult to tell about the rest of the body because he's so filthy. Bird droppings, dirt, sand, mildew, moss, you name it. But obviously, over the space of the next couple of days, I'm going to give him a damn good clean-up. And I think that there's a really nice car lurking underneath there. And certainly he drives fantastically. And what we do know about the diesels is they're ridiculously economical. You know, you're talking about 60 mpg on a run. So you can't fault that. I'm looking forward to saving some money over the next 7 days. Unless somebody buys him tomorrow, in which case they're going to cop for £40 worth of diesel that I paid for today, free. So hope nobody, hopefully nobody buys it tomorrow. Okay. Oh, the area is sorted. Brilliant. Oh, and you have rubber mats. I may have carpet mats, but I think they're for the R8. We'll check tomorrow. Oh, thank you, mate. And don't send those without taking some money for them, because they're going to be really expensive, and they do fetch money. And it's for Shison, so you know, I would happily find the money for those. How do people keep finding time to watch more channels though? That's a big question and a good one. Feels like rusty wings are the bane of the 25s. Yeah, they are. Shison needs one as well. But, you know, at least they're easy, relatively. They've got that bracket on them that tends to get a bit rusty, but, you know, a wing is a relatively easy thing compared to rust elsewhere on the car. And you can just buy a brand new one, get it painted, or, you know, find a good second-hand one in the right colour. They are about, and the job's a good one. So Shison needs one, and Deric needs at least one. Right, other stuff with Deric before we get onto the paperwork. He has wonderfully. Oh, and this is what I wanted to ask you about. See if anybody else has got any of these. 2 keys, always good, always nice to see. 2 fobs, again, very handy. But 2 of these, which feel quite chunky and reasonable quality. And that slides down to reveal your buttons. Now, I'm not familiar with these, and there's 2 of them. All right, so does anybody knows what these are? They're obviously aftermarket. Now, these both work. They lock and unlock the car, and I presume they operate the immobiliser. I presume they've been, you know, correctly programmed into the car, and they seem to work. However, apparently there was one time in the car's history where that key's not original look. Not that it matters, it's a key, but it's not actually original. That one is an original key. Oh, that was another job I had to do today. Go to Emma at Gold Lines and get a key cut for Wetleg. And she was closed. She wasn't there. And we walked there. Mustard and I walked there. I wanted to drive and Mustard said, no, don't be lazy. It's too close. It's only like half a mile. So we walked and it bloody closed. Oh, okay. Interesting, Adam. Oh, cheeseburger. Right, yeah, I mean, they're clearly aftermarket. I actually like them. Now, they seem to work perfectly well. I wonder if they work from here. Let's try that. Which one's lock? That one's lock, isn't it? Let's try it. That one didn't. I think that one did, but the lights didn't flash, but I think I heard the locking go. But anyway, the point was that they said there was one point in the car's history where they unlocked the car using the aftermarket ones and it wouldn't start. The immobiliser kicked in and they pressed the button on this fob, the original fob, and then it was fine. That released the immobiliser. But these fobs apparently won't lock and unlock the car, which leads me to think if they're not locking and unlocking the car, how can they be coded to the immobiliser? So I haven't got a clue what's going on there, but obviously I've got P-scan, so I'll have a play about with that tomorrow. I don't know. I think rather than have 4 immobilisers, 4 things, then what I think I'll try and do is, yeah, I remember that. I've heard about that. Hold them against your head, and they work. I'll have a proper play with these tomorrow because that doesn't make sense to me that this would work the immobiliser. The original fob would work the immobiliser, but not the locking. What I think I'll do tomorrow is get the old P-scan out, plug that in, and I think I'll code, or I'll try and code, all 4 fobs to the car. Check if they all work, and if they all work, then rather than having 4 fobs and only 2 keys, I'll leave 1 of each with each key, and keep 1 of each others as spares to use at some point on one of mine. But I'll get to the bottom of that. It just seems like, I mean, if it's coded to the immobilizer, then it would still lock and unlock. They're not 2 separate things, unless I'm getting that very wrong. And I'm not sure whether people would prefer the aftermarket or the originals. So that's the plan. I'll code all 4 to the car to make sure they all work. Well, I don't know. Whoever buys it can choose. They can have whichever ones they like. Or I'll give them 1 of each. 1 for best, 1 for spare. And I'll keep the other 2 as spares for current or future members of my fleet. I mean, you don't need 4 fobs when you've only got 2 keys, do you? That seems like overkill. Everybody seems to be going, which is fine. I'm going to plough on. Some people are going to be watching this tomorrow or in the future. So, and there's still 23 of you. So I'm going to plough on and have a look at this paperwork with you. It's exciting new car, isn't it? Are the aftermarket fobs for an alarm? Well, they work the locking, bad books. They are what locks and unlocks the car. And I presume they must operate the immobilizer as well, because the car starts. What is the new car, says Nigel? Been busy with my new one all day, so not caught up on videos yet. It's not on a video yet, so videos wouldn't help you. It's a 52 plate Rover 25, not sure of the exact model, but it's a diesel. And let's have a look at this rather posh handbook pack. This, do you know what? This is going to be awful. This may not make it with the car, to be honest. And I might not show this on the video because this is nice. And I might nick that for Shison and replace it with Shison's horrible plastic one. Would that be awful of me? It's my car, I can do what I bloody want. So, yeah, so there's that. That's nice. Oh, right. What's this? Ah, okay. That's all the coding for the Blaupunkt gramophone. And here is, sorry darlings, that's a pain in the arse, isn't it? Look, we'll plough on for another few minutes, see if we can get to midnight, and then we'll call it a day. I'm really sorry about this, nothing I can do. Do you want some more Rover leather book pack thingies? I have several. Oh God, yes please, yes please. I hate those Project Drive plastic ones, they're awful. The internet really isn't on our side tonight. No, it isn't. The internet hates Boaty getting up close. Everybody hates Boaty getting up close. The stream freezes with a snapshot of the radio codes. Oh God, did it? Sorry, darlings. Look, we'll plough on for the last few minutes. I'll get some supper together. Chinese chicken curry tonight. Didn't have it last week. I'm having it tonight. There might be a Land Rover lunch on Wednesday. Not tomorrow, but maybe on Wednesday. And it'll be a chow mein type of thing, probably back at the same place, because I haven't got a kitchen stand yet. And that place has got a nice thing to cook on. But I've been advised to, if I do another Land Rover lunch, I've been advised to make it a lot shorter. which is probably good advice. 15 minutes seems to be the go-to for videos these days. Right, let's have a look at the service history. Right, here we go. So, if you're not familiar with these books, then if you open them one side, you get service history. Open them the other side, you get the owner's handbook. So, let's have a look. The pages are not stuck together. Cheeseburger, you are sheer filth. Right, owner's handbook, that's all normal. Diddly do, diddly do. Oh, I didn't tell you about his wheels, did I? He's on 14-inch steel wheels with awful aftermarket wheel trims. I assume they're aftermarket. They're certainly awful. And in my eyes, he is crying out for a nice set of alloys. And I think that with the Tahiti blue colour, I think that he would look perfect on 15-inch coronets, which are the ones that Shison has, if you're not familiar with the terms. Let's have a look at the service record. Okay. All right, okay, so he is a Rover 25 2-litre IL diesel. So that's kind of mid-range. That's kind of mid-range, isn't he? So not bottom of the range, but not top of the range. Shison is about the same age. Well, he is the same age. Shison's 52 plate, isn't he? Shison is IXL, which is top of the range. So presumably IL is one down from that. Let's have a look at the comments. Oh, you really loved the long adventure videos. Oh, okay. Well, I won't go that short then. Which dealer registered it? Asked Cheeseburger. Dunno. Haven't found that bit out yet. I'll tell you in a minute. Horrendous wheel trims. Yeah, they totally are. Oh, this is a good idea, Pingu. Maybe you could do a video on how to drive a diesel properly, an old school diesel. That's a really good idea. I kind of wish in a way, I wish I'd recorded more of today on the drive home, but, oh, another problem with him. And that was why there's not much video of me driving home. The cigarette lighter isn't working. And obviously I don't need it as a cigarette lighter, I need it as a 12-watt socket to charge phones, which were all dying on their arses. So I had no battery on any of the 3 phones, really. So I was limited as to what I could film. That's probably just a fuse. And again, I'll check that tomorrow. You want there to be power to there because pre-facelift, the cigarette lighter ring illuminates. And that looks really nice at night. So we're going to want that, aren't we? Yeah, I'll check that out tomorrow. But it would have been fun to see me, who supposedly knows what he's doing, driving it all wrong and getting caught out. And I will admit to you, my friends, I did drive it all wrong and I did get caught out. And I had to go back to the dim and distant recesses of how we used to drive in the old days. I've not had an old school diesel for ages, right? The diesels I've had recently, they've all been M47 BMW units, and at least the 2 of them were automatic, so you know, no thought required. I had to get back into this, but once I did, God, I loved it. Honestly, I had the best drive home. Oh, Cheeseburger, sod off. You're a terrible man. Is the Impression 3 the bottom of the range? Feels like everyone has more features than I have. I'm not sure. I'd need to do I've got all of the ranges in a little reference book, so I could answer that, but not off the top of my head. I'd have to look at the reference. I know the IXL is the range topper because I've got one. Probably a fuse, yeah. But during the day, so I'm still, yeah, oh God, I'm still getting grief over Stigbürt, aren't I? So that's your Stigbürt update, by the way. Pingu has very kindly highlighted what he thinks are the best ones to buy. I've got to go down to the garage tomorrow to deliver the wheels. I'm going to just double check with the guys, show them what Pingu has found and say, these are the things I need, yeah? And if they are, then I'm going to get them ordered tomorrow, and hopefully that will get Stigbürt sorted, pop the wheels on, and that'll be that done. And then all we've got to worry about is the windscreen and the seats and paying for it all, obviously. But, you know, at least there is movement. And again, Liz, when you do watch this, I'm really, really grateful for helping me out. And Pingu, I'm really, really grateful to you as well, mate. I wouldn't have had a clue. David Dickinson is full of crap, says Matt. I went on to his show Real Deal, and not one of the dealers had any drugs for sale. Okay, heads up, David Dickinson is a friend of mine. As some of you know, he did a wind-up on me. I did appear on Bargain Hunt when he was presenting it with my business partner. He did stitch us up royally, and I did make a fucking arse of myself. Right, one more of those and I'm giving up. But it's so annoying. No idea why it's happening. Yeah, I still hold the record for the biggest pro rata loss on Bargain Hunt. I was stitched up like a kipper. To cut a long story short, our expert, who advises you on what to buy, didn't turn up for the morning shift where you buy the stuff. Car broke down or something. Yeah, right, Dave. So we had to buy without an expert. And then when we recorded in the afternoon with the expert, he told us that we were having to pretend that we were buying these things, whereas in fact we'd already bought them 5 hours ago. And he got me pissed at lunchtime. He took me and Mel for lunch and got me pissed. So, well, a little bit pissed. So we're recording in the afternoon, and we're having to pretend that we're buying these things. We'd bought them 4 or 5 hours earlier without having a clue. And I was tired and knackered. I'd flown in from Ukraine like the night before, late night before. And we were recording at Shepton Mallet at like starting at 7 o'clock in the morning or something ridiculous. So I was in a right old state. And I'd smuggled in a load of Ukrainian vodka and fags and had a hell of a time getting through Gatwick, I think it was. Don't think it was Heathrow, I think it was Gatwick. And basically, me and Mel drove pretty much directly from the airport, got a couple of hours sleep either at my place or her place, can't remember where, and then headed off to Shepton Mallet to record this thing. So there's me, jet lagged, half pissed, and we're recording, pretending that we're buying or not buying these things. And the expert is saying, don't buy this, it's clearly fake, it's a load of crap, it's too much money. We've already bought it. So I'm having to justify buying it and tell the expert that he's wrong, right? And then, of course, you know, when it went to auction, we lost on everything, obviously. Lost an absolute fortune, looked like absolute idiots. And it was really good, but it was really good fun. And the reason that I know Dave is, obviously, I was a singer, I owned a promotions company, and I owned an entertainment agency. David's wife was one of the biggest stars on the cabaret circuit, not the TV circuit, but the actual cabaret circuit, and he managed her. So he was in the mix, and we met at shop windows and industry dues and stuff like that, and that was how I ended up on Bargain Hunt. Comments. Nigel. And we'll never know the end of the Bargain Hunt story. You do. I came back and I told you. David Dickinson is a friend of Joseph Lloyd. Is that true? Is that episode of Bargain Hunt available on YouTube? Good question. And I was thinking about this only the other day. Now, an edited version of the episode was on my Facebook and on Mel's Facebook. And I went to look at it because I thought I'll nick it and I'll put it on my YouTube channel for you guys all to watch, because it's funny and you can have a laugh at me and you can take the piss. And I know you like that. You're experts at taking the piss, you lot. And it didn't seem to be there anymore. So I messaged Mel. We're still friends, although we don't really speak very much these days. So I messaged Mel and said, have you still got the Bargain Hunt video? I can't find it. It wasn't the full episode. She edited it into about 15 minutes. So it's basically all of our stuff, but not the other couple stuff, right? And she said, yeah, I've still got it. But, you know, this was ages ago. This was like 20 years ago. But she says it's too big a file to send digitally in any way. And I said, what happened to it on Facebook? Can't find it. And she said Facebook took it down for copyright reasons. And apparently it's the same thing with YouTube. There are lots of episodes on YouTube and eventually they all get taken down. So I don't know if it's on YouTube. I know that it used to be the most repeated episode on television, and I know that it was repeated literally around the world, because I had friends in Australia, in America, in Canada, ringing me up or texting me to take the piss because it just popped up on their regional television at some point, literally around the world, Africa, you name it. Whether it's out there anywhere now, I don't know. At some point, I will make a point of meeting up with Mel and getting a hard copy of it so that I can somehow show it to you guys. Maybe on a private website or something if I can't get it onto YouTube or Facebook or whatever and keep it up there. So you will see it, and it might be out there on YouTube. I don't know. It's the honest answer to that. But yeah, if you do get to see it, it's very funny. It is very funny, and it was a total stitch up. Our expert was what was his name? Collins? Philip Serrell. And he was obviously in on it. And he just didn't turn up for the morning. God, it was a nightmare. And then, yeah, too much wine with lunch. Dave's fault. He bought it. It was a very nice lunch, and he's a very nice man. I'm very fond of him. One of my favourite ex-convicts is David. Oh dear. And that's not breaking any. He talked about going to prison in his biography, so I'm not telling any secrets there. Didn't David Dickinson used to do a Cuprinol advert? Ron Seal. Oh dear. Right, Joe's off to bed. Good night, mate. Oh, everybody's saying good night. What year series episode, asks Matt. I haven't got a clue, mate. It would have been probably about 2002, 2001, 2002 must have been, because I came back from Ukraine and I went out to Ukraine I first went out in 2002. I think I went to Ukraine. I think I moved out there in January 2002. And I remember that, I'm sure I flew back. Yeah, I remember flying back from Ukraine for that episode, so to film it. So it would have been 2002, I'm sure of it. I don't know what episode or anything like that. I had no interest in the bloody thing. It was, like I say, I was asked to do it, and the reason I was asked to do it was so I could be stitched up. And I was, well and truly. And so was Mel. And yeah, to my knowledge, I don't watch the programme. I haven't got a television. But I think I certainly did hold it, or we held the record for the biggest pro rata loss. We paid something like, whatever it was, 200 quid for something, and it fetched £2 in auction because it was a fake sold off some London market. Oh God. I don't know whether it's still floating about there on the telly. Obviously they've had a presenter change, so maybe they don't show the old stuff anymore. If I can get hold of it for you, I will. What did you buy on Bargain Hunt? I can't remember. An Art Deco hors d'oeuvre tray, a wooden dice shaker, and something else. Can't remember. I could barely remember at the time, let alone now, 20 years on. I bet you one of you finds it. Oh, sorry to have missed your stream. Just spent over 2 hours editing the collection video. It's really good, says Mustard. So that's nice. That's something for us all to look forward to. Oh, and the text message was from Vodafone, in case you were interested. Oh, and we have a star in our midst. Nigel played a copper in an episode of Spender and a reporter in Crocodile Shoes, and was also in the film Elizabeth I. Bloody hell. First cities of both. Spender was the rape in Jesmond, and Crocodile Shoes was when he got off prison. All right. Pingu says, might be worth asking at your garage if they can get you the hydrogas liquid for Wetleg at trade price. Yeah, that might be a good idea, because I need to get the fluid. The lovely Jake has got a pump and presumably knows how to work it. So, but he hasn't got any liquid, so I need to get the liquid. So that's probably a good idea. Sounds like you brought crap. You deserve to lose. Thanks for that, cheeseburger. Right, let's crack on with this paperwork. It is midnight. And then we'll just have a quick look through. I might save some of it for tomorrow. I'll do this. I'll save this one for tomorrow, if anybody's interested. Right, car was registered 23rd of the 10th 02. So 23rd of October 02. Warranty expired 3 years hence in 05. It's a Rover 25 2-litre IL diesel. First serviced at thank you. Oh, can't read that. Hold on, I need light. God, I'm old. Oh, Burndon Park Motor Company, Manchester Road, Bolton. Oh, which is where we went today to buy it, Bolton. So maybe it's always been a local car. And that first service, which is a main service, is recorded at 9,100. Oh, hello, Mustard. Hello. I'm really looking forward to seeing the film, mate. Really looking forward to it. You haven't missed anything. The internet's been fucking it all up. First service was at 9,195 miles. Then an essential service at 12,215 at the same place in 2005. A main service at Brown Street Garage, Wells Street in Bolton in 2006 at 16,000 miles. Then main service and MOT at 20,000 miles at Racecourse Motors in Bolton. So it stayed local. A main service at 28,000, including front somethings at MBE Motor Services. Not sure when or where that is. Oh, and that's it. That's it for the actual service book. Let's have a quick look in here. Presumably this is going to be more recent stuff, maybe. That's nice. Nice to have it in an MG branded thing. Now, obviously, if I was keeping this car, which I'm not, card is for sale immediately. If I was keeping the car, this would all be poly pocketed, but I'm not. Bit of the V5 there. I filled out the V5 correctly, or rather the seller did. The V5 will be in my name and my address. Right. He's MOT'd until... Oh, decent. Right, he's MOT'd until the 16th of September of this year. Now, there are advisories on the mop. There was an MOT fail that I think I'll come to, which were sorted. The advisories are brake pedal wearing smooth. Well, I've learnt with Wetleg I can do that now, so that's something that I can put right. Tyres damaged, cracking, perishing. I think the tyres are old, but the treads are good. Not sure how old they are. Need to have a proper look at them and assess them. And brake pipes covered in grease, which seems sensible to me because they're kind of prone to rusting, I understand, so it makes sense to grease them up. DVLA, vehicle tax, refusal of MOT test certificate, and this is the work that was done. So the advisories are the same. The fails were drive shaft joint CV boot, suspension arm ball joint dust cover on both sides. So that was all done. And then we've got previous MOTs. Oh, more previous MOTs, which at least they'll validate the mileage. Mileage is low for a diesel, probably low for any car of that age. It clicked over to 62,000 miles as I was driving home. So I think that qualifies as low mileage, doesn't it? 62k on a 2002 car. So it's 21 years old. Yeah, that's low mileage, especially on a diesel. And as I said, it drives like a low mileage car. It's really tight, really together. Bill from last year for the MOT repairs, suspension arms, CV boot repair kit, blah, 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 MOT cost, new fan belt, oil service, brakes, MOT, what we got here? Exhaust, brakes, MOT and service. So, oh, there you go. So, not a complete history, but nice to have some bits there. And I mean, the car just drives sensationally. So, there we are. So, there we are. That is the new car. It is for sale. I am going to be using it for the next week, unless somebody buys it, in which case I won't be, and they will be benefiting from the diesel that I put in it. And as of tomorrow, I will be beginning the big cleanup, which I'm actually really looking forward to, because it's an incredibly satisfying thing to do, isn't it? And obviously there's going to be lots more content about the car, and hopefully there will be, hopefully quite soon, there will be some more cars to come in the rehoming series, call it what you will. Just catching up on the comments. Right, so I think we're up to date on the comments. We've gone midnight. The internet is almost certainly going to go off again anytime now. So I think we'll wrap that one up at there. Thank you so much. It's been lovely catching up with you guys again. I'm so tempted to get. Isn't that nice? Isn't that nice? That's what you should have, not those horrible plasticky things. Should I set the video live tonight? Asks Mustard. Why not? Why not? I'll watch it. Up to you, mate. Up to you. I will certainly watch it. Oh, Trace says yes, please. Matt says yes, please. I've got nothing to watch. It kind of makes sense that your video goes up first, probably. And then I can watch that and I can edit my video accordingly so that we don't cross over too much and show too much of the same thing. I'm really looking forward to seeing it. And yeah, it might help me in editing mine. Yeah, that can definitely wait, Matt. So, yeah, just to recap, this is Deric, the new car. It is a joint collaboration thing between myself, the good captain, and the banker. In case anybody's wondering whether Mustard and or I have won the lottery, no, we haven't. We're not spending our own money because we haven't got any. It's another community collaboration thing, like we've already done with other people. Somebody else wanted to get involved, yeah. So we're not going to make any big fanfares or make a new channel about it or anything like that. We're just going to tickle along ad hoc and see how it goes and just mix it into all of the other community stuff. So, but there you go. It is what it is. The card is there. It is for sale, and it will do somebody a jolly good turn. Oh, and good night. Enjoy your supper. I will do it then, says Mustard. Somebody, I will issue a little teaser. Somebody has got in very early doors and expressed a very strong interest in young Deric, and would, I know, be a fantastic home for him. So we'll see what tomorrow brings. It'll certainly bring a lot of cleaning on my part. And it would also bring Momo for lunch. Yeah, it is a community map, but we can't say that too much or claim it because Our friend Matt at Furious Driving, he's already done the community thing, and it's on his videos. And it's kind of, I think he's got a playlist actually called that. He probably didn't invent it either, so we probably could use it, I don't know. But, so there you go. Mustard's video is going to be going live any minute now, by the sound of it. So, do watch that. My video will be coming out tomorrow, hopefully at the 1919 slot. My plan for tomorrow is get up relatively early, although Tuesday's kind of my lazy lion day, because Monday's my day off, but I don't get a lion because I go to the Yard of Dreams. So Tuesday is when I, get up when I get up. And if my body needs sleep, then I try and give it some sleep. Sometimes I'm too excited, like I was last Tuesday doing the Land Rover lunch thing. And I'll probably be excited tomorrow because of editing this video here. So get up tomorrow, edit the video, get the video uploaded, ready to go out at 1919, and then I will start the cleanup and film that and do all of that filming and pop down to take the wheels down to Stigbürt, and that will be the following day's video then, if you see what I mean. There'll be a live stream tomorrow night at the normal Tuesday time. That's Tuesday, Matt. Mondays at 10 now. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, 11. So there'll be a live stream at 11 o'clock tomorrow night as per... Oh, hang on, will there? Oh, yeah, there will, because Mustard's not doing his on the Tuesday anymore, is he? I'm off then, says Mustard. See you on my video. You certainly will. So, yeah, live stream tomorrow night, 11 o'clock. Let's set up the playout. And then Wednesday, I'm planning, hopefully, maybe weather dependent, I'm planning a Land Rover lunch, and there'll be more stuff on Deric. I don't know. We'll deal with all of that when we come to it, won't we? Let's get you lot off to bed. Thank you for your company. It's been lovely catching up with you. And, yeah, let's bugger off, shall we? Here we go. Unmute it, you arsehole. There you go. Lovely. Apologies again for the internet. Nothing I can do about it. Thank you for your company. Have a safe and peaceful night. Take great care of yourselves. Have a great day tomorrow. And I'll see you all, well, on the video tomorrow night, 1919. And then I'll see you live, 11 o'clock. Catch you soon. Much love to you all. Bye-bye.